Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, the Lost Cavalier, and you're welcome to a brainstorming session because why not? Hello, Diego. How are you doing? Hello. How is everything doing over there? Everything okay? I saw you click that hard faster than I actually posted the thing on the Discord. That was fast. Hello. Oh my. This is gonna be a weird one. Because okay, I have actually been a game game director. Yeah, I have been a game director actually. And we won that game jam because of my game directing skills. But the thing is that I never touch a line of code ever. I only write the game, like I write the whole thing completely, in detail. Now I want to do something akin to that. I want to actually write this game that I have in mind and see if then we can actually, do the code. Not today, obviously, because it's gonna take time. I don't know how much as it needs. It's gonna be like, say, like a long time project that we're gonna do. And just take out the dog from, the dog was on top of me. It was resting on my lap. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna see how it goes. Because I have a basic idea of what I want to. I want to do the game to be one of those games where you only observe what is happening, not necessarily you taking a lot of control. So I want basically something like that. It will be probably pure text, only text-based. So I don't have to worry about graphics and whatnot. It will be like, let's say, like a reading of a story, one would say, right? I know the basic of game design and all of that, but the thing is that it's going to be something like that. So, it's going to be just on text format, because I don't want to deal with graphics. It's text format. And basically what is going to happen is that basically like, it's going to be like, let's say like an assistance for writers if they want to have it like that. Because I want to create a history that writes itself. And you can create whatever you want with it. Kind of, and I don't want to have a map or anything. It will be just, like I say, pure text. Like a follow-up of text that you can follow up and see where the city is going and where the thing is going. Because I want to follow a city-state or an empire or whatever it transforms in the future. And on automatic. So yeah, it's a game with little to no interaction, I know. But the thing is that to see the whole thing unfold and being able to see the machinations behind the scenes, I would say. It's so complicated, okay? I know it's complicated, I know it's like weird. But that's how it kinda goes, one would say, okay? So, having taken graphics out of the way, like I will say like animations, 3D modeling, 2D modeling, and all that out of the way, like out the window. 2D modeling maybe I can have a little, but only like to have a background of the game per se. I really like the idea, okay? And then we go into good afternoon, hello, yeah, hello. Oh, hello. Oh my. And so that's what I want to do. I want to do something like that. So, the game will have probably like one big entity where, let's say, the scenario where everything takes place. That's the city-state. It will have a couple of like bars, let's say health bars and all of that will be invisible to the player. And basically they will go up and down depending on what you do. And so the percentages too. I like numbers, okay, when I play games. I like numbers a lot. So that will be one of the things that is going to happen. Now, what I want to do first is to set the whole scene. It will be like follow a city state on automatic that you will be able to name. Okay, like the name is going to be on part of the player. The player will name it. Player will name it. Let's make this like bullet points, okay? It's going to be text format, so no 3D graphics. No 2D graphics. So basically no animation. So that's a big cut on the budget in the sense of like we don't have to worry about it. So, and words are for free, and I am a writer, so that's basically what I do. Go figure. Basically, I'm doing a game for myself. So that's the first step, okay? Let's set the basic for the game, for this GDD, what they call the thing. The basic thing for this, we like text format, not 3D graphic, not 2D graphic, no animations. Just text, or let's say like just text and menus, because menus are gonna be a lot. They're gonna be like a couple of, let's say, like menus that you can access. Text and menus, just that, okay. The game will be about, like those RPG books, right? More or less, yes, but more like you basically set, like you are like, let's say like this. You are like a dungeon master in this game. It will be like that. You will set like the basics on start and let it go and see what happens. It's like a, let's say like an automatic story generator kind of thing. Like, for example, you say, these are the parameters where the story will take place, now go. And the characters inside will actually take some decisions regarding some personalities, weights, you know, like, for example, they have X and Y. According to this stick, they should be doing something according to the personality and the current situation. It should be more inclined to do X or Y, or maybe don't do nothing in this turn and stuff like that. I'm still thinking about if doing turn-based or maybe do it like real time. It will be like a thing that I have no idea what of the two formats is going to go. And my problem is that it's going to be difficult to find like a sort of like a, let's say, a tutorial for this, I think. Because the whole thing with tutorials is that they think you want to do a game like a platformer, something like that. And what I want to do is just a text processing thing. That is like checking weights and tossing a coin from time to time. That will be the thing. That's what I want to do. It's like a coin tossing game where you have no control. So, the thing is like follow a city state. Yeah, that will be the ending. So the idea is to follow a city state on automatic. In the sense of follow a city state, I don't mean like to follow, let's say like you will follow a city state with its different, like, let's say, layers. That's like the basic premise. You will follow the government class and then the lower ones. And I want to have a couple of parameters in the big scale of things. One will be like wealth, the amount of wealth present on the city, like on the let's say like on the culture itself, and then like the distribution of said wealth is something that I want to code. It will be like, for example, let's say that the whole region has a wealth of like, let's say 1,000 points. And this is distributed like 75% is on the hands of the powerful and 25% is on the hands of the rest. And according to that, it will have other ramifications. So we'll be able to see how that blends out. Remember, I study history. I have studied history like professionally, and I have like read so many books. I kind of know where each scenario might go, and I can create my own because I'm a writer too, so I can do all the things. So that will be like the idea. It's like a ramification kind of game. The problem is that the coding is gonna be the fun and difficult part, because I have no idea, and what I want to do is so specific that I have no idea if I'm going to be able to find a tutorial for that. And I don't want to go through the grind because, hey, TDAH, ADHD and autism. I don't want to go to the grind of learning the basics of something I'm never going to use. Like, for example, how to do a character jump from point A to point B. I don't care. I don't care how to do a character jump from point A to point B. I want to have a freaking toss of the coin constantly. That's what I want to do. And I want to have like a lot of like mathematical things going in the background. That's what I want to have, nothing else. It's like that will be all basic. And only like create like these, like, let's say like nodes that are characters that take those decisions according to whatever is happening. I know it's a big affair. I know it's complicated. It sounds easy on paper, but I know every single game has its difficulties and like. Oh, that would be cool. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be really cool. But first, let's set the idea. And I know the whole thing is complicated, even if something sounds so simple in the gaming industry. Like, for example, saying a character runs from point A to point B. I know it's complicated. It's really complicated to do. The thing here, though, is that what I want to have is, like I say, not a character moving, nor interacting with the world. I have to have, let's say, a lot of mathematics, like percentages, and like flip of the coin of where does it land in the background, while each of these decisions is like being shown on screen, let's say, with a text that I will write personally for each decision. So it will be something like that. You will not have like any kind of control. Maybe that could come later, but I don't want to like fuzzle myself into trying to do this interactable. I actually want to be able to just set a couple of premises and then just like let the program run itself and see what it leads the whole game. When with the game over, of course, that will be the destruction of the city, or the end, or the like super like chaotic ending of many cities that go down because of different situations. But I want to have like that, like a story generator. That's what I want to have. Like it will write itself, let's say, but you put like the base, and the base will just like evolve, and you will see where it goes. Previous to this one, I had another idea that was more like more character, like player driven. It was like a like a choose your own adventure kind of thing, but from a city state perspective too, because I want to showcase like how culture interacts and all of that shit, you know. And it's a little complicated. I know it's a little complicated, but because it's all text and each of the options that you turn on the beginning will have different ramifications on percentages, numbers, like, I think it's feasible. Especially because, like I say, I don't have to like, let's say, it sounds weird how I'm going to phrase it, but I don't have to put the extra effort of like trying to tie animations with interactions. I just need to put like a text that just appears on screen, and that's it. I know it's very interesting. No, that's the idea. So you will follow a city state that runs on automatic. That will be the game about. It runs on automatic. So, you will start the game, okay, by obviously choosing the name of the city. Using the name of the city, let's go. And then I need to put all of this like in not in this, but in this. Like, you will choose the name of the city first. Then you will choose the form of government that could be a republic, monarchy, let's go. No, monarch. Oh my god, monarch. Oh my god. The problem is that I did write in Spanish. Oh my god, what is happening with me? Monarchy. There we go. It will be like a republic, a monarchy. This will be more flavor than anything else, because it will have implications on the whole thing, how it's run. But I will go into that in a second. But it's more flavor, like flavor the text and stuff like that, not necessarily for other things. So you will have like just in the form of a government, you will go for republic, monarchy, theocracy. It will have their implications, but that will be like in a second. Republic, monarchy, theocracy, and oligarchy. Like this. These are the base forms of government like an ancient city could run on. Obviously, there were mix and matches sometimes. Rome was, for the Greeks, seen as a mix of everything that made every single system, basically a republic, a monarchy, and an oligarchy, like all mixed together in a perfect like balance. That's how the Greeks saw the Roman Republic, not the Empire, but the Roman Republic. Theocracy, it's more like a caveat. It's an extra, because theocracies as such didn't necessarily like came into being until, let's say, like the Middle Ages. The Middle Ages with the Vatican, basically. That's what a theocracy, like on a really like interesting. Whatever you want to be, yes, indeed, that's exactly how they went. That's exactly how they went. They have the consuls. There were like the two consuls. Then you have the Senate. You have like all of these other offices. It was really complicated. Rome was amazing, by the way. I love the history of Rome. The thing is that this is the form of government will be republic, monarchy, theocracy, and oligarchy. Each of them will have something like backing up the characters that is more important than the other resources. For example, let's say because characters need to balance out according to their personality and stuff, they will try to balance out some resources over others. In that, I'm going to take like inspiration from Crusader Kings, but that will be later on the text, because I already have like the main ideas over here. Okay. Then choosing the form of government, then you will need to choose like the distribution of wealth. This is like an interesting topic because it's something that really I have seen in like simulations and stuff. Like well done in a sense. The distribution of wealth. This will be a percentage. This will be represented in percentages. One for powerful families, and the other for let's say like the plebes, one would say, or like the rest of the population. I don't want to put citizens in because citizenship is it's a special trait, I would say, of certain societies. Not all societies have citizenship. For example, monarchies didn't have citizenship. You were just like a servant of the king. Theocracies didn't have citizenship too. You have like you were a servant of a god, a servant of a king god, let's say. And oligarchies were like, yeah, you were a citizen if you basically meet certain standards. Same with the republic, obviously, you were a citizen, met certain standards, but the obligations were all different. So for let's say for the general population, let's say like that, what will this do? This will divide an amount of treasury, let's say. Like the game will generate according to what you do. Actually, according to my studies, I would say choosing the name of the city will be the first thing you do, and then you will choose the landscape. Why the landscape? Because that has a lot to do with the culture and the richness of the land, and how much like what the economy is going to be focused on. Because you can have like, let's say, a dry valley, it will have different culture, different attributes, and different like wealth than a civilization that goes into, let's put an example of a real life, like Egypt, going along the Nile. The Nile was so rich in like fertility that when the Roman Empire conquered, the Roman Empire, no, still the Republic. The Roman Republic basically took over, and then the Emperor Augustus, the first one, took over the thing. He created, like, he divided the empire, and let's say, like, the province of the Nile, the province of Egypt, was for him his personal domain, because it was the personal domain of every emperor from that point on, because it was the whole, like, so much power came with the control of the wealth that could produce the Nile. It was so fertile, the soil, after the Nile like had the flows of the river like come and go, that like the level of the river went up and went down. I don't know how to say in English. Like Crecida del Río in Spanish. It was so important that basically all the emperors of Rome will have that as their personal place, and will appoint personally who manage it, because from there they could feed the entire city of Rome and basically all the empire, more or less. Not necessarily, but it was super important for the well-being of the empire to have that giant granary working on the hands of the emperor, who could like distribute that wealth. Obviously on let's say dynastic Egypt, when Egypt was still independent, And with also the Ptolemies, so with the Diadochi, the region was always super wealthy and super developed, to the point where you have the Bronze Age collapse in the 1200s, I believe, 1200, I believe that was the time. And Egypt is the only like state that managed to actually keep itself kinda together during that period. When the rest of the Bronze world, so the Empire of Mesopotamia, Assyria, Mitanni, and the Hittites, and all of those other like big kingdoms, that what historians call the Club of the Great Powers, collapsed completely and were like atomized to the center because they couldn't like keep their empires afloat, and everything like completely disintegrated. Egypt was the only one that could remain whole. Not only because of their super mega wealth, but also because of the political stability that it had. Kind of. It never really recovered from that time though. Like the Bronze Age collapse hit Egypt just as hard as any other state, but Egypt was the only one that was able to actually like repel what we call the Sea People in battle and be able to like win against them. And like basically Ramsey, one of the Ramses, was the one that was able to like stay in power, and they were able to destroy them to like keep the Sea People away. And then they went into, I believe, another of the intermediate periods. Let's talk about history today and all of that, because that's what I'm doing here. I'm doing like a history kind of game. It's like a history simulation. That's the idea here. History in what is Egypt, you have like intermediate periods. Instead of saying like the collapse of Egypt, historians use intermediate periods. It was like at the beginning there were two states, the north and the south, the lower Egypt and the upper Egypt. Then they got unified, and once they unified, the idea of an unified Egypt never like went away from the public. I mean public, it's like not public, but like of the cultural mindset of the Egyptian. The idea of the two states always combined together into one, but always being two. It was never like unified in a sense of like the whole thing become one thing, but it was always like the upper and lower Egypt, two separate entities that came together under the pharaoh, and the pharaoh just like keeps it together to keep the cosmic values in check. But they never like get rid of the term upper and lower Egypt. They were always like these two separate entities that were like together forever and ever, like a couple, let's say. Like they were married and there was no divorce possible. And then you have periods like the intermediate periods that are not necessarily like a Middle Age or like a Dark Age. Like I don't like the term Middle Age or the Dark Ages, because I will say like those terms are full of like, let's say, like a lot of like preconceptions that we have about those times, especially because of of like European Middle Ages, that we see like the Dark Ages and whatnot, when it actually was another time frame and another Enlightenment time that just had its own rhythm and its own particularities. We can discuss the good or the bad of each time period all we want, but the reality is that they happen, and they all like put a little grain of sand into the mix of history. And Egypt has, instead of the Dark Ages, and it had two or three, I don't remember, I believe it was two. The thing is that you have like the first intermediate period where the power of the pharaoh was like diminished to the point of being non-existent, and each of the nodes, like they call nodo, like provinces, govern on their own, and they were kind of like prosperous on their own. They didn't have a problem living like that until a powerful pharaoh basically put everyone in check after like I believe 100 years. It was a long period, okay? And then you have the second intermediate period when again the central power kind of like atomized. I never say collapse, because remember, Egypt never truly like collapsed, let's say, like never dissolved itself until Rome put its foot on Egypt. Egypt, like an entity, never like dissolved into something not Egyptian per se. The second one though is a period where Egypt was actually like invaded. So the delta of the river, like the upper part of the river, was actually occupied by another people that then they were cast away 100 years later, more or less. It was the Houthis, I believe they were called. Was it Houthis? I don't remember. But it was another people that came from the Levant, I believe. And they took the power over there. And, well, there were two pharaohs, one enough. One was from the Upper Egypt, and the other one from the Lower Egypt, and thieves, and they were all competing against each other. Really cool history, by the way, the one of Egypt. The thing is that, what I was saying, the landscape has a lot to do with the whole thing. Because if you're surrounded by mountains, you might be more inclined to, let's say, be more like... I don't want to use the word like... I will use the correct term, like more isolationist, maybe a little more xenophobic kind of thing. Not necessarily because of hate from other peoples, but more like fear of other peoples. After all, xenophobic is actually that is fear of the other, not necessarily hate of the other. So I would say like choosing the landscape is really important for the initial stats of these people, let's say. By the way, there is going to be an ad running in the and should be starting in the Twitch, so we're gonna wait a little bit, but I will write that down. So the landscape should be like, say, mountain landscape, like really rough terrain where you can get a lot of minerals and stuff. So mountain landscape, this will be more like flavor, and I will explain that in a moment. Mountain, and then you will have like river, valley, just valley. Just the landscape and climate could be cool actually, because depending on that depends also on the whole economy. For example, in Chile, the whole economy was different, the Inca Empire was different and all that. So it's really important to actually know if it's like humid forever or it's like has stations. A lot of cultural stuff goes around like stations of the month. Okay, like really a lot of stuff. So we're gonna go with mountain, valley, then we're gonna go with steppe, and mountain, valley, steppe, and which other one could be? A beach, maybe? Coastline. Yeah, coastline will have. That's a different thing. Actually, that will be another, let's say, like, for example, mountain, valley, steppe, okay? And then you will have to choose like another set of things. Oh shit, that wasn't what I wanted to do. I want to create like another sub thing. Nope, that wasn't what I wanted to do, but that's exactly what I want to do though. That wasn't what I wanted to do, but it's exactly what I wanted to do. That, yes, that's the way. Coastline will be yes or no. Like an exit to the sea. Then river will be a yes or no. Yes or no. Lake will be a yes or no. And then it will be like climate. Let's put like humid or arid, let's say. Arid or temperate. Temperate will be like the middle ground, like it rains sometimes. Temperate. And seasons, it will be yes or no. Yes or no. All of these will determine a couple of stuff that you could do later. So we have all of this, which is really cool. I want to go to the personification, like the customization of the nation first, which is really interesting for me. So it will be a customization game, and they just let it run. So the name of the city first, then choose the. Let me see. It's choose with two O's. Choose the landscape and climate. There's a mountains, valley. Like actually, I want to take like this and this, and here I will put like elevation. It will be no like general. Let's put like general. It will be like mountain, valley, steppe, plain, or meseta even. Each of those will have its own like perks and modifications, I think. Why if meseta is not here? Isn't it like... Oh, isn't like... Wait, how do you write meseta in English? Like a meseta. So I probably am butchering the Spanish there because thing. So plateau. There we go. Plateau. So plateau. Oh, well, that's how it's going to go. So that's how it will go. So it will be general will be mountain, valley, steppe, plain, or plateau. It will basically like my idea is that this whole thing just takes some menus to let's say spark the imagination of the. That would be how it goes. It's about follow a city-state slash culture that runs on automatic. Let's put culture in the mix. I will not like do a culture simulation, but you can go like that. Okay. Start the game. Choosing the name of the city. Choose the landscape and climate. General mountain, valley, steppe, plains, plateau, coastline. Yes or no. River. Yes, no. Lake. Yes, no. Climate. Humid, arid, temperate, and seasons. Yes. Because I know so much history in a sense, I kind of like go crazy bananas with all this shit. And then choosing the form of government, that will be like republic, monarchy, theocracy, or oligarchy. Those are the four big ones, let's say. These are the four big ones that I kind of like. Although it could be like the only problem is that this republic, monarchy, theocracy, and oligarchy is actually living like they're broader terms, but I still feel like there is one missing, and that will be like the Chinese kind of government. That will be like maybe meritocratic. I don't know how to put it. Because it's like a scholarly kind of government where you need to like pass a test and everything. We could put like civil administration maybe, but that could be a perk of the state that you choose. Even with monarchy, theocracy, and oligarchy and all that, you could just have like a civil administration or military administration, mix of the two, and that will be like different things. Yes. So that's how it goes. So how we have the basics of the whole thing. We have the landscape and climate. So you choose like this in this like menu. You choose like this. The general landscape. It's mountain. It's full of mountains, valleys, steppes, plains. So then you have the option to does your city has a coastline? Yes or no. That will obviously increase the wealth from trading, for example, something like that. Then if it has a river, yes or no. Has a lake, yes or no. The climate is humid, arid, temperate, according to what you put in the rest of the things, or different. And does it have seasons? Why do I ask does it have seasons? Because, for example, let's use an example. The Caribbean and Polynesia and stuff like that, they don't necessarily have like a winter per se, like they don't have like a drastic change of seasons. Like they have more like monsoon season and then like not monsoon season, which is different. It changed a lot of like the mindset of the people. For example, there is a tribe, I do not remember which book it was I read. It was a book about sex though. Like history of sex, and I don't remember which one was it. Which one was it? Where is it? I don't remember. It was... The thing is that listen to this one because it's super crazy bananas. Okay, it was like a tribe. It was like a study that was studying the, let's say like the. Oh my God, how do you say it? Like the moment when societies realize like humanity to name, but okay. You can try it. I'd rather not. Okay. Why don't you do it? Just do it. Do it weirdly so I can understand. The thing is that, listen, this is a culture this is a culture study that was really cool. I don't remember which book I took it from. I have so many books. But this one in particular is one that it's alluding. God damn, which book was it? Well, the thing is that there was a study that say, oh, so this goes to don't get the flag or something. Okay, do that. So it was like this study that said, like, in the beginning of humanity, let's say, like, most people didn't necessarily knew where babies came from. I know it sounds dumb. It's like you have sex, you have baby. But how can you make that correlation when really the whole process is so obscure if you think about it? It's like sometimes people have sex, they don't have babies. Other times they have sex, they have babies. It's like completely random. And it's like, you think about it, unless you see it in someone else, like an animal, you might not be able to understand it completely, because if humans can do it whenever, and it could be or could not, you could think it's the blessing of a god. But if you see that animals, each time they do it, because they don't do it whenever they want, but also when there is a mating season or the female is in heat, and then you have baby, you realize that, oh, this plus that equals baby, that might be true for us too. So now we have a line of succession, because you know who the father is, let's say. Well, there was a tribe in the middle of Oceania, I believe, that because they didn't have like a lot of contact with the animals, like, let's say, like with other mammals, they were actually fishing tribe, and their island was not really like super big. So they were like a fishing tribe, okay? Their whole culture around sex and sexual relationships was that it was actually something the gods gave humanity so that humanity could have fun. They didn't thought it as baby making, they thought this as having fun. So when someone was pregnant, it wasn't necessarily like, they didn't have like a line of like a line of, let's say, parentesco, of like fatherhood. Everybody knew who was the mother, and it was a blessing, and that was it. When the missionaries, the whole like Christianity arrived at the island, and they were like explaining to the natives, like, hey, babies are created by this thing you're doing, the tribe laughed them off, like, say, you're crazy bananas, that's not how it works. It's a blessing from the gods, or your god in this case. It has nothing to do with inserting penis into vagina. It was like, it's a little like detail of history that it's super cool if you think about it, because it's like culture is so like so rooted in what we see and what we can like use reason. So it's super like important to understand that each culture is different, and the mix and matches that could happen are infinite. You could have a place where, let's say, ending oneself, let's say disconnecting from the server, is what is expected from you at a certain age, and other cultures that actually penalize the even thinking about the whole thing. It's all a perspective of culture. Obviously, because we live in our culture, and our culture is from the West, from Europe, and Europe became basically an hegemony in the modern era, and everybody had to basically follow their ways, but no in between. We have like a universal set of rules regarding that, but the subscribing for the server is totally like something that the whole religion was about. Who knows? In the past, there's a lot of things that could happen, so it's really interesting though to think about, like the whole thing, the whole like culture thing. It's like it mix and matches. It's not like I'm saying do whatever you want with your life, culture is meaningless. No, culture is super meaning, because we live in it, we swim through it, and we basically were created by it. So basically, knowing that culture is not universal doesn't mean that everybody has a green, like a blank check to do whatever they want. That's something that everybody needs to know, though. It's like knowing something doesn't necessarily make it like legit to do it. Something to say. But this is the thing, though. Okay. Let's continue now with the game before we go, because let's continue. A lot of things I'm going to talk today because we're creating a game that I'm currently like hyper fixated in, like setting in paper, and then taking this whole idea into a working thing. That would be super cool if we manage to do it this year. We have basically 8 months to do it, ladies and gentlemen, and we're gonna try to do it. Okay, that's something that we're gonna try to do. So. Then you choose the form of government. And then you will choose basically the distribution of power inside the government. Let's say like number of offices, right? That will distribute different things to do. Okay. The number of offices are like, let's say, attached. You can name it whatever you want. So number of offices, you can auto name them, like, name them yourself. So it's custom name, yes, custom name could be custom name. For example, you want a monarchy, and the monarchy is called the Big Fool. You can have the Big Fool up there, and everybody's trying to be the Big Fool or something. You will see what I mean in a second. Numbers of offices. That's the main. You can choose numbers of it. It could be for like 1 through, let's say. Let me think about the big pillars of society for a second. Oh damn! I used the num thing, so now I'm a demon. Damn it. I didn't want to do that. Let me think. So, if we have the number of offices, it could be between 1 and let's say justice will be 1. Diplomacy could be another one, maybe. Yeah, diplomacy could be another one. Treasury obviously is another one. We have 3 already. Let's write them down. Justice. Well, cold, obviously. Cold. Hello, Clembus. Welcome to the stream. We are making something weird today. How are you doing? Let's see. Justice, cold. Treasury. Let's say like, well, military commanders. So I would say like, well, we could say leadership. Maybe. Leadership. It could be more than one. What are you doing? I'm creating a video game on paper. That's what we are doing today. Like for now, until the hyper focus goes away. We are creating like the video game on paper, and then we're going to like look it up again, like read it again, see what fits, what could be added, what could be subtracted. A game. Listen, I have experience. Dice rolling for some stuff. Well, listen. That might be a thing, but this is a yes. I will talk about that later. The thing is that I have been a game director before, and I know about the yes and don'ts of like how big a project can it be until it's unfeasible. Let's say I have done that before, and my team actually won because I was the game director. They actually said that it was because of me, and I was like, eh? But you did all the coding. And I was like, okay, well, everybody did a great job. But basically, I was the one who was like saying to everyone like. In the game directing aspect, I was like the team management could say maybe too. Because it was like, okay, cut this, cut that, add this, add that. Don't do this. Like, put this more simple if you can. This could be more like this and that, and I even do like a croquis, like a drawing in a Photoshop. I remember to show them how the game. And we actually ended up winning the how do you say it? The game in question. We got the first place. But the thing is that I was there like saying, okay, do this, do that, don't do this. And when they were like saying, like, for example, I remember they were like, okay, we can add this, and I was like, no, you cannot. That's the thing that you need to do based sometimes with being like the game director. When someone has a great idea, but you know that it's impossible to do in the time frame you have, or it's impossible to do period because it's too ambitious, and you have to put your foot down and say no. I had to say no to a lot of stuff. I even had to like shut down a couple of the game idea at the beginning because everybody was like, okay, let's go to sleep. And I was like, I haven't read the idea of the game. This is what you're going to do the rest of it. And I basically put the thing there. And I remember someone that was like, we could do another idea. And I was like, no, this one is already done. It's the one I saved. And we might get to the end of it. And we basically win. So I know what we can take and we can give, etc. And I have done some coding. I have actually done a visual novel before. Fun enough. So I know a couple of things of line of code. Not a lot, though. But I know mathematics. I mean, visual novels are good and all. The problem is that you need the visual part. And that's what I'm lacking. That's why, in my case, this game is going to be all text and menus. With little to no, like, graphics or representations of what's going on other than reading. That's super cool indeed, Columbus. That's super important to have in like writing sessions, in like writing a visual novel. If you can have a natural sounding speeches, that's the most important part of a visual novel. And obviously cute character art. If you don't have cute or interesting character art, a visual novel can kind of fumble. And when I mean interesting, I don't mean like well-drawn. You could have like a doodle, but if it's compelling doodle, it will be enough for everyone to actually read and enjoy the story. Sometimes you have visual novels that are just weird kind of doodles. Stuff. Really interesting. I'm great. That will be like the idea. Oh, my living situation was stable. Okay. Love it. Oh, you don't know? I don't know. I stupid. I know how to create. I read it differently. Listen, Limbus. Sorry about that. I completely rephrased it. I probably could have a visual novel because of character sound robotic and natural. Okay. Sorry, I was wrong. I read it wrong. In order to create a natural sounding language, like speech, how do I explain this? It's like, it's complicated. So let me rephrase actually. Sorry for the I didn't understand. I read bad. Okay. Yeah, I got it. Yeah, I got it. Sorry for that. It was my mistake. I misread what you brought down. In order to create a natural sounding speech, you could maybe just sit down and act it out. Really, just do it yourself in real life. In your native language too. That's an idea, that's something that you need to do. You need to do it in your native language. Because that way you will be able to put more emphasis on the words that you want to like emphasize. For example, if I want to write something, I remember one time the first novel I ever did, I had 15 and I was writing the final battle, the final confrontation between the main character and the main antagonist. They were about to have a sword fight. I acted the whole sword fight in my room. I basically grabbed a sword of air in my hand and started doing the movements of both sides. like to understand where the swords were going and understand all of that. And in dialogue is the same. If you can like say what you're reading out loud, then it's working. If you are reading it and you feel like it's a robot, then try to rephrase it different. Or try to like, for example, read it and then say something like, what I meant to say was that, and then you say another thing, and that could be even more natural than the main idea. What I meant to say this, and you like rephrase it completely, having it already studied what you wanted to say at the beginning. Like you have a dialogue, like for example, I want to conquer a kingdom because they are all evil. And that's like super robotic, right? And they are, but I could rephrase it. Let me rephrase it. I need to conquer. Like you just change it something. You put need instead of I will. I need to conquer this kingdom because they are a threat to my family and my nation and my people. And then you have a change of like different thing because you rephrase it. If you have problem writing dialogues, do not be afraid of rephrasing them over and over and over again until you have one that sounds more like the character you are representing. Write everything like the robot, let's say, like write everything in the robot style to have the main points and then act out the rest. So you can have the other things. You will see that you will start adding words into the mix that weren't there before. You will start to rephrase, put one thing before the other, and you will find out eventually the dialogue that said character is saying. You just need to role play it a little bit in real life, and it will come a time where you will just be able to do it naturally in your head. So that will be like my recommendation for you. So yeah. That will be like the thing. That will be like how I will recommend it to you. But when I write the stream, we have one of these in a bit. Yay, the hello Savage, welcome. We are having actually like it's actually a game kind of thing. I'm actually trying to create a game. Hello Elspeth! What about Sunday, the stream? Yes! Mama and I went out to town Friday. Had a lot of fun. Yeah! Okay, Mama, okay, how simple my cat can travel and it looked like the flip. Oh no! Oh no, Elspeth. That's fun though. Thanks to you too. Basically look like this. Like was saying nervously. How did you get here? This place shouldn't be accessible. It might be me, but I find this play not natural. The thing about writing is that you're writing something, natural is not necessarily the word I will use for when you're writing a novel or something. Because writing is not a word-by-word representation of reality. It's an interpretation of it. The same as an interpretation of dialogue. It's, let's say, the fantasized version of reality. That's why you have so rambumbant like dialogues in movies or series and you're like, nobody speaks like this in real life. That's because it's not real life. It's meant to be exaggerated or toned down. It depends. In your case, I will put like something like, how did you get this here? You shouldn't be here. How? Like you could even like put more emphasis in the fact of the disbelief of the fact that other character is dead. So character 1 says nervously, how did you get here? This place is forbidden. You shouldn't be here. How did you get here? It's like, imagine the character in a situation where something unexpected happened. The confusion should be palpable. So instead of stating the fact of this place shouldn't be accessible, it should show the reader that the place is not accessible easily by basically expressing to the other character that they are completely appalled and in disbelief of how they reached that place in the first place. That's how I will do it. You need to think like if you were in that situation and you know what you know, then how you will react to what happened that goes against what you know. That's another thing. Each character knows what they know. They don't need to say what they know or state the obvious. That's my golden rule, basically. So in your case, and I will read the rest of the comments because I know there's shower in there. So in this case, I would say that your number one character should be like, how did you get here? First, it's like nervous, impatient, and hostile, and also confused. Because if it shouldn't be accessible, it should show that in the dialogue. So your character should be like, how did you get here? You shouldn't be here. Where are the guards? Why did they stop you? Something like that. It should be like more emphasis in the anomaly rather than explaining to the reader through dialogue, plain dialogue like a description, that this place shouldn't be accessible. Unless the character 1 is not nervous and is actually calculating everything. For example, instead of character 1 says nervously, it should be like character 1 with cold eyes look dead in the eye to character 2 and said, how did you get here? This place shouldn't be accessible for your kind. It's all a matter of the emotion behind the dialogue. That should be how the dialogue goes. If you can say character 1 says meticulously or calculative or cold, then that dialogue is perfect. But because you say character 1 says nervously, I don't feel the nerves there. You need to put the nerves in. So remember, act it out. If your character is angry, lash out in anger while you are rephrasing the thing in real life. Put the emphasis. If your character is nervous, put the nervousness. If your character is scared, put the scare. If your character is... And you will be creating dialogues that each time will resemble more to the real thing because you are following your own emotions into the dialogue. That will be the thing. Hello, I'm a professor. So that's how I will do it. So if you say a character is nervous, act out nervous in real life and put the dialogue in your own words. And then translate it to the paper. If you say that the character is cold and manipulative, yourself in the role of a cold manipulative person. You will see that you can be that character. It's gonna be fun. Even for you, it's gonna be fun because you're gonna be like, oh my god, I'm so evil. Sometimes happened to me when I created like dialogue from certain like villains. When I put myself in character, I'm like, oh my god, you evil genius, so sexy son of a bitch. Because I'm acting it out in real life. I'm like, listen to me, you little knight. I will destroy you. I will take the soul of your loved ones and eat them raw in front of your eyes. And then I will dismember you limb by limb. While you suffer in agony knowing that you couldn't do anything to save your wife and child. See, if you put that kind of like emphasis on the thing, like the evil part, you can really create an evil character, like really evil character. That would be like a Witch King if I put it out, be honest. That would be cool. Or maybe like, and then I will erase your memories of all your loved ones, leaving the lingering sensation that you failed, but you will never be able to know in what thing you fail. That's my curse upon you. And then say a name or a Lord Ethelbet, and says, then cast a spell. And that character is forever like tormented with the idea that he failed something really important, like he cannot find what, and he's looking for answers in the world. You know, that will be like the thing. You want to have like that kind of story, remember, act out the characters and you will be like going into places soon enough. That's how I would do it. Now, going back into this though. Okay, so we have like number of offices for the customization of your state. This will be like, let's say like, in a sense, like the amount of characters that will be present in the amount of families you set. And I will be going into this in a second because I'm leaving this already like in order. What happened there? The character by 8, he terrifies my girlfriend to this day for how suddenly he was. I love it! Yeah, I thought the Fire Emblem Fate story had plot holes and characters were pretty much better. I feel so weird how everyone was so quick to join Cory, but don't know much of it. Indeed, well, that's another thing entirely. Like the quality of the narrative depends on the quality of the writer, and the quality of the experiences of the writer, both in real life and in reading other like stories. For me, there is no better teacher of like real life scenarios than reading history books rather than fictional books. I will always recommend first like reading classics, fables, classic theater, and let's say when I say classic, I mean like previous than 900, let's say. So you could have like a grasp of real life situations, and then you can like obviously turn into 11 if you want, or leave it like as they are. So you would actually have like a better understanding of how people react to certain scenarios in real, like how people acted in certain scenarios, and how people could be expected to act in certain scenarios. And you, by reading history, you will be able to like be like, I will have done something different. I have that idea all the time. Like, what would have happened if certain time period, instead of happening this, happened that, or certain king, instead of saying this, said this. For example, the last Tsar of the Russian Empire, instead of going all full autocracy, what would have happened when he was given the choice in the first moment of his reign to choose to turn into a constitutional monarchy? What could have happened with the Russian Revolution in that case? The character there made a big freaking change in history, you know. But he, because I believe it was his uncle or something like that, like it was whispering into his ear that the best thing was to actually keep the power on the Tsar, like on the crown, all the power on the crown, and that basically made everything fall apart. Try some stuff you say. He says smiling, look, you are weak and pathetic. You have no chance in this path, this side. Indeed. I would say like put another word before smiley. Like he said with pity in his he said with pity in his voice and a smile on his lips. Look, you're weak and pathetic. You have no chance in this path. And he sighed. Exactly. That would be like I will go. Remember to put more descriptions on things. If you put like he says smiling, remember that a smile could be happy or joyous. Obviously it depends on the context, because if you said before that the character was already like, God damn it, this guy is not completely powerful enough to get on this, people will get the context. But if you're not sure that people will get the context, you can add just one or two words extra. In this case, like he said with pity in his voice and a smile and a let's say like a how do you say, like a compensation price? Like I tried to find like the right word for that one. Let's say like with pity in his like pity. He said smiling with pity in his voice, like with like you know, like believing more that, like believing that the other guy is weak. Like, look, there we go. That would be how I would win. But the Roman Empire never fell. Yes, indeed. In order for like the Roman Empire to never fall, a lot of things would have needed to fall into place. Like I have studied the fall of the Roman Empire. It's like was a clusterfuck of situations, really. Like a lot of things happened at the same time, and the Roman Empire basically collapsed. But indeed, you could be like even forcing history your way. For example, you could be like, I don't want the Roman Empire to fall, but I don't want to change anything that happened prior to the fall. So I will just like extend this to the max, to the limit of my capability to extend it. You can have like, because history, listen to this. History is written, this is not the cliche of written by the victor, okay? I was about to say other thing. History is written by three, like, I don't mean written like in books, I mean like written in the grand scale of things. It's written by three main forces. One of them being the economic, the other one being the social, on the grand scale, like social, and the other being the individuals involved. Why do I say the individual involved? Because in history you have different currents of thought, and one of them say that the individual doesn't matter at all. Then you have another current that says individual is all that matter. And then you have another current that says like only economy matters. And then you have my current that is everything matters. Because without Napoleon, there will be no Napoleonic Empire. Not because the let's say like the empire like couldn't happen, but because it needed Napoleon to happen. That was the guy. That was the general. Because of him, because of his tactics and all of that, the Empire was able to extend to the extension it had. Without him, it would be impossible. Unless you replace him with another person that is not called Napoleon, but is basically Napoleon. Then the Romanovs were no more. Yeah, with a green. There we go, with a green. That's better. Thank you, Nia. Thank you. That's best. Hello, disculpa. Making a board game or something, more or less. Yeah, we could say a board game of sorts. I want to do that indeed. That's basically what we do in this school. Basically, something like that. It's like a board game. It's a text format game. We might have sidetracked Clembus, but I really like to actually discuss these things. Because I enjoy a lot to actually teach. I enjoy a lot teaching people how to let's say how do you say, to rail their creativity, rail in their creativity and create, be able to create easier or having more tools to create. I like to give people tools to create histories. These stories that we. And this is why I have the idea of this game, is to give everyone another tool to do stuff. So, the numbers of offices here, by the way, is going to determine something down the line. By the way, if you want to ask another thing regarding creating a plot, creating characters, anything, I'm here to just talk. Yeah, alternative history timeless is so much fun. I love them. They're the best. It's a whole thing about alternative history is so weird. Because you can have everything be normal and just have Coca-Cola, instead of creating Coca-Cola first, they created Pepsi was the one in power or something like that. Just that, and you have an alternate storyline. It's pretty crazy. Or you can do the big one. The big one is always the same one. Is what would happen if World War II was won by the Axis? That's the big boogeyman of alternate history, if you think about it. And the Roman Empire never fell is another of the big boogeyman. I have never heard, for example, someone that creates what would have happened if the Industrial Revolution happened before the Bronze Age collapse, and the Bronze Age collapse never happened. Oh, it's so cool. The thing is, numbers of it could be custom name. You will have the justice called Treasury Leadership. Military 2, like a military one. Military and let me think. Because you have justice called Treasury Leadership, military, and which other one could be there? I believe those are the big ones. Because it's you have these are the big ones. The way we're number up. I put offices. It could be one, or let's say 1 through. Well, actually 1 through 10 maybe. Because we could have a lot of them, but I will put some limitations just for the sake of not making the simulations a better world. Climate and season. What about extreme weather events or disasters like plagues, volcanoes, tornadoes? That will be later. Yeah, that will be something that will come later. Right now, in this moment, it's the start of the game. I will explain to you this. This is the thing. It's text format. It's a game about following a city-state / a culture, let's say, and it will run on automatic. You will not have a say on what's happening. It's a automatic generated history, let's say. For example, World Box or other games, idle games, like an idle game, but with characters doing stuff, and you will see you will be able to have a look behind the curtain and see what's happening, and those things could happen. And what will happen will be this: when you choose the landscape, I was about to reach that later, but that actually sparked a little bit of extra inspiration. When you choose the landscape, you're actually choosing at the same time what kind of disasters could happen in the story. They will have a random chance of occurring every tick and so. And that will actually affect the whole city-state, and it will affect a lot of stuff. But the thing is that will be like the landscape and the climate will have its thing. That's why you choose general, mountains, valleys, steppe, plain, plateau. Then you go with the coastline, which could activate tsunami happening, maybe. Mountain will activate like a lot of earthquakes, let's say. Valleys will activate like, let's say, could activate like maybe floods, flooding stuff. That will be like rivers and lakes could increase the chance. The steppe will create like maybe droughts and stuff like that. You know, the normal stuff that could happen in any kind of society in ancient times. And then when I put like seasons, it's more like, is there like a big change of season? In case you put no, it will be like an eternal spring, an eternal summer, eternal winter, and stuff like that. It will be something that we will like do it down the line. Hope you want, let's go. Totally. Yes, indeed. Then you will go with choosing the form of government. You could choose republic, monarchy, theocracy, oligarchy. It's basically flavor, but it has some things. It will change something down the line. I'll show what next. And then number of offices. It could be between 1 and, let's say, 8. And you will see why in a second. We 1 and 8, but you say, oh, but there are only 5. Like, why were the 8 office if there are only 5? That's because, depending on this up here, it will depend how many of these you could have. Get it? For example, in a republic, you could have 1 to 3 leadership mixed with something else. In a monarchy, you will have only 1 leadership, or maybe another thing, because you can have a leader that takes care of everything, and that's how you would like see how it goes. It will be like something like that. It will be depending on what government thing you choose, the amount of repeated things you can have. Let's say, for example, a republic could be like extra up to 3 leaders. Let's like up to 3 leaders. Up to 4 actually, and I would say why in a second. And I think my eyes went weird because I probably hit above the anarchy government. Not now, but that could be a state that the city could devolve into. That will be like the stasis of the Greeks, and that will be in the distribution of wealth sector, and then in another like like another like perk that the society could have, but that will be in a moment. Let me cook. Every type of government. Yeah, I know. Exactly. I'm trying to do everything. So, you can have up to 4. Let's put leadership to understand leadership roles. Why is this important? I will tell you in a second, because this will be like a variable. If the number is even, the characters can veto each other if they hate each other, and the whole state could be like in a stalemate until one of them dies or it's taken out of office. But if it's uneven, it's more like a sense of like who gets the most votes. Then, well, monarchy will have like, let's say, monarchy could be like, it could be like all in one, in a single guy. Could have I'm writing terribly. Let's say, can have 1. It will be something like this. Can have only 1 office, or 1 office of each type. What do I mean by this? What do I mean of this? 1 office or 1 office of each. If like leadership is the center. Okay, this is the idea. Is can have only one office, so the king, who is justice, gold, treasury, leadership, and military. Or you could have, like, for example, 3 offices or 2, but leadership will always compensate all the ones that are not like single. For example, you could have a kingdom, a monarchy, and you have like a vizier that takes care of the treasury, but the king takes care of everything else. Or you could have like 3 offices. It will be like the leadership will take care of military and cult, but you will have a high like a grand judge and a grand treasury guy, for example. But you cannot have like an office that has 2 things and doesn't have leadership in it. I don't know if if I'm explaining myself here. This will be like the limitations of each one of the government type. Leadership roles, each with actually, let's say like up to 4 leadership roles are either like mixed with another thing, mix with another role, or solo. And monarchy can have either all in one office or from 1 to 5 offices. But no office unless leadership office can have more than one function. Yes, that's how I would phrase it. Okay. Then theocracy can have actually has like a regular type, has its pros and cons. It's up to how someone use it. That's what I made the type. Oh, got it. Yeah. Type has protocol. It's how it's use it. Yeah, got it. Oh, so you actually every type of government actually goes like you just click enter by accident. Got it. Got it. In short, Stellaris in a medieval setting and with more detailed stuff. So can't wait to make an underground. Wait. It's not like that. I'm not creating like an Stellaris kind of game. It's all a text thing. If I try to do a Stellaris game, I will go crazy bananas. It's let's say I'm trying to create like the customization menu actually from a Stellaris, and then like let it run itself. That would be like typing is hard. Yeah, I know. Why does it melt? What is smelly? I have no idea. The smell is something foul. Wait. Weird. Sorry, I got distracted there for a second. Smells like trash. I don't know why. The theocracy though, it will have like the next thing. Every single position of leadership has to have the cult function. It can be like a single thing where like the leadership has everything under its control, or it could be like separated in different things. This will be like a constant, I believe. I will not put it like the characters can change this the form of government or the number of offices. And in case they do, I will put like something like a civil war spark, and the city was destroyed. We'll see that later. But that will be another character. Another character ABC live Rulero Hauras based on the name. What would you think? Oh my god. Whatever you like and hope to see it on Steam one day. Gonna for the day ahead. See you another time. See you another time in school park. Have a good time. Have a good time. I don't know if I ever would put it in Steam. I might just put it on Itch.io. It's in tribes. Oh, it is a tribe of government. The tribal system is a government. Yes. The thing is that I don't want to sound like anthropocentrist or something like that, but tribal kind of things could also fall into these categories. It depends on the kind of tribe it's like working on. Like, I will say a tribe is like a mix of everything. It depends a lot. But I could totally put like a tribal kind of system. Totally. So tribal system will be okay. Will be a thing. And I will describe it in a second. I know exactly how it will go. It will be like basically to each to its necessity, to each to its capabilities, to its needs, more or less. It will be something like that. So let me continue now. Monarchy can have either all in one office or 1 to 5 offices, but no office can be set with more than one role unless leadership. That is limited to only one office. So you cannot have 2 leaders in this one. That will be a hierarchy after all. But that has a different way of governing. Yeah, and that's the thing. The tribal system, it's depending on who you read, okay? Because depending on the anthropologist and the historian, you could have different, like, views on tribal systems. For example, how would you define a tribe in this case? Because tribal, like a tribe, it could be a mix of clans. I believe tribes are actually more like, it could fall into any of these categories. It could be a republic, everybody has a vote. Like everybody has a vote and everybody like chooses the best for each situation. Or a monarchy where you have like a chief leader, let's say, that pass down the whole thing to the sons. Or you could have like a theocracy, a tribe with a theocracy where the shaman is the one who actually gets the final say on everything. Or you can have even an oligarchy where only like the most powerful or the most rich on the tribe are able to rule. It's complicated to define a tribe unless you are saying like a tribe in the sense of the amount of people that inhabit the group. Because if you're saying like a tribe is more like a category of the amount of people living in a zone, that will make more sense, kind of. Because a tribal city is kind of weird. Because there is not like a city. You don't have like tribes compressed of, let's say, more than 1,000 people living all in the same camp. You need to go, Clembus? Okay. Doesn't witch doctors play a part in it as well? Yeah, it did. In the case of like, okay, witch doctor is actually more, let's say, like a term used by ancient anthropologists to like define the person who could heal someone by using supernatural kind of means and also concoctions of obviously roots and vegetables and stuff like that. That's what you have the idea of the witch doctor. And also it's like witch doctor because it's like shaman is more like it, but you could have also priest. It's complicated to actually define those terms because shaman comes from shamanism. Shamanism is like a term that you use when you have a religion that centers around the idea that everything has a spirit and everything should be like respected equally, more or less. It's complicated, like I say. So it's depending on the religion, kind of the religion of, or like the religion structure or lack thereof, which name you give to the basically the head of the cult. For example, in some cultures they are called shamans, in others are called like witch doctors that could be like opposed to shamans or could be also the shaman. And then you have priest, but priest is more a thing of the Christian world. And then you have priestesses, which is more of a pagan thing, and you have a lot of things. It's complicated. It's complicated to define. It's not cut and dry. No definition is cut and dry, let's say. Complicated to define. That's why when writing, when world building, you need to think a lot of the context and the whole, like, let's say, world that surrounds the term you're using. If you are in a temple, you are a priest, a high priest, or something like that. If you are in like a tent in the middle of a tribe, you could be called a shaman or even a priest. Like the tribe priest. You could be a priest. If you are in a hut in the middle of nowhere, you could be a witch or a witch doctor. If you are like in, let's say, a giant gothic kind of temple, you could risk it in the sense of world building and call the guy in charge a bishop or a high priest. It's all about the kind of preconceptions everybody has about who is where, right? If you have like a big cathedral out there in your world building, it would be weird to have a high priest in the cathedral. Would it be better to have a bishop? Because it's like what we like think about it. Indeed, just on the Americans, a lot of things. I was reading about one the Native Americans today. It's the Pueblos tribe. The Julie, I don't remember the name. And the book is not here. I left it in the table. Yeah. The thing is that they focus everything on like rain and what they call the mask gods is super. And they are like, how do you call them? Let me see the exact word. I'm going to go now and look for that. I have it. I have said book. I have the book. I have the book. Ow, my freaking knee. I have the book. Okay, so here we have it. The guys I was talking about were the Sunyi. Z-Y N-Y and Y. And actually E-Y. Zuni, they are the Pueblos basically. And they, let me see what they are called, because they call them here the, and I'm going to translate from the Spanish version of the book, Men and the Culture by Ruth Benedict. It says that the cult of the priest Kachina. So the priests, like multiple priests, it's Kachina, and they use like the terms high priest and other kind of priests. Like they have like a lot of them. They use masks. Cool idea. I am reading it. There's like a sacred lake where it's super cool. It's amazing, the whole thing here. It's super cool, the idea of like reading of all the cultures. This book is great if you want to read it. It starts with a whole like let's say dissertation about the science of customs, and then it goes to the second chapter that is like the diversity of cultures, and then it goes to the other chapter where properly starts talking about something. No, about the integration of culture. Then it starts with, if I'm not mistaken, chapter currently in, that it's the peoples of New Mexico. That's the one I'm reading right now. But before the, let's say like the real life examples, the author actually gives a pretty cool dissertation about what culture is, how can it be configured and all of that thing, and how to study it, etc., etc. And the worst part about that is that it's super, let's say, useful for world builders, because if you read this, you will understand that not every culture will end in the same path, even having the same resources and situations, let's say. Everybody will have a different outcome. that's super interesting. Super cool, if you ask me. Now, let me go for theocracy. Theocracy would be a special kind of government because it can have up to 5. Actually, it can have up to 2 justice. No, 3 justice actually. Like leadership, I would put leadership. Leadership can only be paired with justice, and there can be 3 of them. The rest is 1 of each. No, can only be paired with justice and and there can be them at the same time. The rest is 1 of each and also has the cult function. Indeed. Now, oligarchy, I will put it like it can't have any office mix that can have 3 of each if desired. So you can have like 3 treasury, 3 leadership and stuff like that, and everybody will like keep tabs on each other, or they will fight each other and veto and stuff like that. I'm having a lot of ideas here. And then tribal. How do I do tribal though? Well, tribal, I actually have an idea for tribal. Now that I think about it, I have an idea. I have a very good idea with tribal. Tribal could be... like... can't have leadership position on its own, and can only have 1 of each of the rest paired with leadership. That would be how I will do it. That will be like the tribal form of government, I would say. That will be like how it goes. And then setting choosing the amount of offices. Wasn't some tribes well on for large families? Yes. I mean, tribes, like I said, tribe is such a malleable term. You can actually fit it in a lot of scenarios. It's complicated because you could think that a tribe is based on the way they are organized, or you can think that a tribe is based on the amount of people that compose it, or you can even think that tribe is set on an archaeological, an architectural pattern, a way of settlement, a way of culture. So tribe is really malleable. It could be a exogenic family, like for example, everybody marry with other people, like bringing people to the fold, or it's complicated to define a tribe. I'm doing my best here, like to put tribal in to have like its own like little mechanics. In this case, it will be like everybody's a leader on its own. Like everybody's a leader and everybody can keep tabs on one another, but they can have one justice called treasury and military, but they're all leadership, but they can't have like a treasury and military at the same time. But something like that, I would say. Complicated. Yeah, tribes can mean a lot of things, a whole lot of things. It's really complicated to like create a definition of tribe that holds all the water in. It depends on the eye of the beholder. When someone sees a tribe, they see a city, or other guys sees a city, other guys sees absolute kingdom and stuff like that. For example, the Celts. Were the Celts a tribe or a couple of tribes, or were there actually like, let's say, cities but smaller scale? It's complicated to understand. Complicated to understand, but at the same time know this when you're writing or you're creating something. Having clear definitions, it's important. You can't go around life putting absolutely everything like in the area of the depends on the point of view. And the depends on the point of view is something that it's better used in a situation of this one, like a discussion about the meaning of the word or the meaning of the thing or how it functions. But you yourself should kind of have an idea of what you think it is or what you want it to be, in case of like, let's say, a fictional setting. Because without that, you can't work on anything related to that. Because if it can't be anything, then your book is gonna be what? 5 books, 5 different points of view that your head holds. It's gonna be crazy. So you need basically to decide one after another discussion, internal discussion. Think yourself. And so it could be 1 through, let's see, choosing the amount of offices. I will actually delete this thing of the numbers and leave it a to be custom name because that's have justice, hold, treasury. Oh well, I could actually like put like each with what they do. So I would say justice prosecutes corruption or not. Called will deal with public unrest or not. Depends. Treasury deals with public. Treasury. Public is not a good word here. Actually, I'm trying to do one. Deals with. How would I say it? Not taxation, not that, but also budget, let's say. Budgeting? Budgeting? Or not. Then we have leadership that deals with diplomacy, with external diplomacy. Deals with internal diplomacy and sets of focus. And then military deals with military campaigns. Remember, this is all text, right? Do not imagine a big game like Stellaris or something like that, okay? It's everything text. Deals with military campaigns. Or not. Or not, you will see what I mean when I see or not. I think as a writer, it's important to acknowledge that every part of the world is different. You don't just culture about their views as well. Yeah, totally. That's super important as a storyteller, especially in today's world. You're gonna have a completely like one-sided point of view in any story that you're writing. But you need to know that that's the point of view probably of the character, of the main character, and it's like a really interesting topic now. Because you need to acknowledge it, but you don't need to present it in the book. I don't know how to describe it. It's like you can acknowledge that your main character's barbarians are nothing more than a more sophisticated culture than the actual culture of the main character. You can know that, but the thing is the character like knowing, like, does the character know that fact or not? Does the narrator like wants to put that in clear or not? How does he do it? It's really interesting discussion now. But yes, the writer needs to know that, but it doesn't need to like put it into the book like to show to the reader that it's really like that. Like everybody has their own point of view. No, you can paint the evildoers as evildoers and nothing more. But you could, as a writer, just have them as evildoers because evil cultures are cool. I like them. And at the same time, have like this kind of like room for interpretation. Sometimes. Because if it's an evil culture, it might just be evil for the sake of being evil, and that's fine. Okay. So, let me see what we have here. I'm trying to recreate this in the head, like from menu to menu. So, we choose the name of the city. We choose the landscape and climate. We choose the form of government. We choose the amount of offices. That could be custom made. Okay. And then, I want to put something like cultural attributes, but I think I'm going too far. Like, I already have like a lot in my plate right now. Like, I'm already seeing this, and I'm like, this is already too big. Especially because then there is like the whole like, oh my god, the coding of the character interactions. I mean, like the actors' interactions is gonna be crazy, man. So I will just leave the distribution of wealth as one of the things that I want to have in the thing. This could even be just a slider thing. I could totally create just a couple of menus where you slide things up a little bit, a notch, just to create a world. Nobody could do. Or maybe I could be just, instead of starting the game, I could be like, you know what? I could create, I actually have another idea. What about if I do this like a D&D kind of thing? Like you roll a dice to create the things. That would be much easier than doing a game. I could do that first and then do it a game. That would be super cool. Like you can choose all of this and create a paper version. That would be really cool. Creative stories, people play games and stuff to get away from the real world for a bit. It did. Indeed. You don't need someone like beating you in the head with the idea that the orcs in the Lord of the Rings are actually the good guys in disguise because, oh my god, my own traumas and stuff. No, don't be like orcs are evil. Done. I'm saying that example in particular because I'm tired of like the idea that is currently running amok on like the writing world, more or less. It's not like an homogenic idea, like an hegemony, like a hegemonious idea. Not an hegemony, there we go. It's more like I will say like a little virus that it's like saying to a lot of writers like, you can't write about X, Y, or Z. You can't have a culture be completely evil because if you're doing that, you are also an evil person in real life. And it's like, what? My dude, allow me to write about my freaking dragons that eat people in peace. Thank you very much. A little thing that I have to say about the writing. There we go. That's how you have a better thing. Just leave a space between the two. Got it. I will do something then in the rest of it. This is a good idea. And I have another idea to do. Yeah, choose the number of objects. Yeah, totally, me too, yeah, me too. Those are completely crazy bananas, I hate them. Like, you can't write that. Or when they say like, when they are like, for example, like, I don't know, like, you can't have, like, this X fantasy species in any game because that's disrespectful to people in the real world because you're making that comparison and you're like, my dude, I just created a dragon. Why do you think it's a you? For example, like, it's a dragon, likes gold. I'm not making a direct comparison to anything. That's you. That's all in your head. You are the one making this comparison because you believe that shit, not me. Totally, Elspeth. It's too crazy when they do that. Like, I do not understand. Imperial Princess pharaonic dragon empress that thinks she's perfect and makes everyone miserable in a month of winter called extraction. Gosh, yeah, totally. It's like that. It's like, that's how I feel when I see people discussing those things. Because you have one side that is like, let's say, the writers that just want to write something cool that they imagine in their head that was really interesting. And then you have all the people that goes completely by, I don't know, like they need to compare everything to everything that is unjust in the world. So If you don't have X diversity in your cast of characters, oh my god, you're a bigot and a fascist. It's like, no. Why? Why am I like that? Let me write in peace, god damn it. You are the one who's a bigot to the fascists if you're trying to push me to write what you want and not what I want. My god, the world of creativity is so derailing as I see it as of late. It's like completely crazy bananas. It's like, my god. Oh, I'm having a bigger idea actually. Wait. I have a better idea actually. Instead of doing this, like, this will be not the basic thing. This will be like the big project, okay? Big project thing, that will be that. But then, this project, it's gonna be another thing now, this project. A random, or not, random, or fake. City, city scenario generator. That would be. I think my dog is asking for food, so I'm going to do that. Give me a second. I guess I might be okay to make a big of inspiration from stuff. Just make it unbiased and let people. Totally. You can even make it biased if you want. I mean, this sounds weird, okay? But listen to me. Everybody has their own bias. Some people like something, other people do not. Some people like certain topics, other people do not. If they want to picture something as pure evil, let them do it. And let you as the reader decide if in the plot and the narrative is justified or not. It's like, if it's just someone spitting out hate and it's so clear what is happening, then you will be able to read it and you will not be like that. Okay. But you know how it goes. Okay, hello my love, how are you doing? How are you feeling? I love you. I will go now and give Jack a little bit of the chicken that we have because I believe he's doing noises because he wants to eat. So I will go do that right now. Hello, I'm back. Hello, I'm back. Yeah. What is happening over here? Let me see. I am. Yes. Elf. Yes. Oh my god. The distributor double welcome. Hello. Yes, indeed. Dogs have been fed. The product. Listen. Scenario generator. Where? The player uses the 20. Oh damn it! 20 again! Oh my god, my face! There we go. My face went weird. There we go. I need 20. You like it? It's even for no whatever. D20. I love freaking things that use this kind of system. I actually have a couple of them. I could totally write a book of this one. It's like the big project thing, but I could do this. And then I could actually like compile it into a little book. Into a little book using one of Adobe's things. I don't remember which one it was, but it's one that to make like the thing for the book. Like that. And then I could use like a little help from my wife who could draw something to put like somewhere around. Cool. Yes, he did. Oh my. Oh, give me a second. I believe the mat is ready. I'm back. Coming back. I'm back. Hello. Okay. So, all of the things, okay, that you see here, it's going to be cool. Because now I can do it without necessarily thinking about the code, which means I can go more into detail. Yes. Exactly. In this case, it's like a generator of a scenario, like a city or a state or stuff like that. It's not necessarily something that you're reading, it's more like a tool to create something else. So my idea is to like drop everything into like every single aspect I can think of world building, a city-state kind of thing, or a city or a capital or a nation and stuff like that. Throw it everything on paper and like dissecting it in different areas and subgroups, so people can actually like use this as a tool to more easily create things. It will be something like that. That's like my idea right now. And it started like idea for a game, but then I realized, hey, wait a minute, the game is too big of a project. So it's a big project thing. We could maybe do it in the future. See, that's a big project, but I like the idea of actually doing this project now. Or with you all here, actually. So we're gonna continue this one probably later. I want to play some Infinity Nikki. I do this. I want to play a game. Unless you say that we could continue with this one, but at the same time, I'm like, I think the effect of a hyper focus is wearing off a little bit. So I might be like going to play another thing right now. I'm thinking. Or maybe rest a little, because this has been, ladies and gentlemen, one of those moments when my brain has gone ballistic. It's been a while since I was here like super interested in an idea like this. I know it's automatic, don't worry. I know you love it. So I have been like, whoa, Jesus. And it's like really interesting. So, got the name of the city, the landscape and climate. Then we could go before the form of government. I believe we need another thing different. I believe what we need is actually, God, oh God, why don't I have the freaking thing? Give me another point. Not this point. God, why? Wait, how did it? They go this and this. Ah, there we go. I I just want you can choose your own path. Like, there's no pressure or anything, especially when it can change in a challenge you like kill off. Yeah, totally. Oh my god, totally. That's why I enjoy games that run in automatic from time to time. Choose the landscape and climate of the region. Oh. Actually, choose the name of the region first. The region first. Then choose the landscape and climate of the region together. Okay? And then we will go with choose. Choose will be actually choosing, but let's put choosing for now. Choose because the time. Yes, indeed. Choose. This was rated like this because before it was more for a game. So help the NPC equals disapproval for the majority of the cast type. Decision. Totally. It's like you're about to do a decision. It says X will hate it, and you're like, oh god. Well, I'm going to do the other one. Is Y will hate it. Oh come on, they're both my love interest. Then choose the name of the. Let me see. Choose the name of the. I would like to say city, but people would be better, I believe. But let's go for city for now, just to keep it to keep the idea flowing. The name of the city, and then choose the size of the settlement, and then we will go with. How did I create it? I click here and then I click again. No. How the this and this? There we go. And then we're gonna put just the size of the settlement. It will be like a small, and I will put example next. Hamlet, town, small town actually, small town. Village and small food, small. So like a lordship, small. Then we go for. No, actually, because no, feud is already like a monarchical kind of thing, not a republic. So we already need that one. Just the size of this. Hamlet, small town, village, medium. It will be like small city. Castle. Actually, let's make it simple. Let's keep it with the idea of the city, okay? So it'll be like small city, actually. Small city, just so this just small. That would be small, medium, big. Small population. Choose the size of the settlement. Only big, and then we will go with. Let's enter again. Yes. We'll go with let's go with the age of this. That could be like obviously brand new. Just funded, I would say. Just. One of the dogs passing. One of the dogs was in the way of the other dog, and the other dog was like barking because he wanted to go away. Oh, there is a very automatically activated. Yes. Praticamente alguien the vampires party disapprove. I don't recall how to spell his name. Stereo. Yeah, Stereo. Stereo, the vampire bastard. Damn, sexy vampire. Oh my, that Stereo. Age of the settlement will be just. How does it founded? Founded? Yes. Something like that. I would say like just founded or one generation old. Then like more than 100 years old. I could put actually like less than 100 years old. That would be better. Less than 100 years old. More than 100 years old. And then more than 100 years old. Less than 500. And then more than 500 years old. Less than 1,000. And then for last, more than 1,000 years old. And that should be it because it's a lot. You have to go? Okay, have a lovely time, Bones. Also, have a lovely time over there. Enjoy the night. We're having a crush on the child and the voice actor. Hug, Bones. Have a big hug for me, too. Okay. I like this. I like this a lot. I like how this is coming along. Then we can choose the... Wait. I have an idea. Choose the current and past form of government. And past any form of government. Public, monarchy, theocracy, oligarchy, tribal. I love this. Oh my god, this is coming along so good. Oh my god, this is coming along so fucking good. Is the number of offices in the power in the power structure. Could be just a name or a title. Justice prosecutes corruption. Prosecute corruptions and administers the law or not. Calls the Republican Reds and minister all sacred. Ministers all sacred things. Or not. Treasury deals with budgeting and city infrastructure. Maintenance. Or not. Here people internal factions and foreign entities. And sets a domestic and foreign foes. Or not. Military deals with the military campaigns. Keeps the borders safe. And deals with general threats. Or hey, I love this so much. I love this thing so much. Jesus Christ. Yes. The distribution of wealth. I will put like, instead of making it like this, I'm going to just do a role play game. This thing down, 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 down. But take away all these things, please. But thank you. Distribution of wealth. It could be like, let's say, distribution of wealth. Land, coin, objects of value, and or prestige. It could be an or. No. And this could be like, let's say, let's put like 3 parameters. I would say 25% owned by the elites, 75% distributed among the rest of the populace. Then I would put 50% owned by the elites and 50% distributed among the rest of the population. And then I will go with the other one. No, it's a little more like dystopian. Well, actually, it's not dystopian. Reality. 75% owned by the elites, and 25% owned by the rest of the population. Well, distributed, not owned, because I really like a big faction, but that's not the thing. Distributing among the rest of them. Okay, it's awesome. Oh, this is awesome. I love it. Yeah, land boy. And or objects and or objects. No, actually, land, coin, and cattle. I would say, because cattle could be like a big thing of like you know, of like wealth in a society. So wealth, land, coin, cattle. Those are the big, like the big three, I would say. Even land could be like correlated to cattle, but not necessarily. Depends on the economic system. And coin too. So there we go. Tuki. And with this, because I'm tired as hell after this one. This will be like, this is like part of the big project, but like let's start the game. Yes, I will actually. Oh my god, this is so cool! I'm so freaking inspired by this. So freaking inspired by this. I would totally do something very cool with this. Oh yes, totally. And then I have the rest of it. Oh, that's so cool. Yes, 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 and more. Yes. I adore this so much. I never saved it. Jesus Christ, that was a little dangerous, if you ask me. Oh my god. Let me put it in. Okay, let me. And then I will go to here into book. Book. Yeah. Look at it. There we go. Perfect. Good. Good. I like this a lot, and I can write a whole freaking book about creating a thing using sequence. Nice. Nothing better than nice. I love this. I adore this. It's great. Name of the city on for people who have it. Yes. Oh, freaking yes. Yes, indeed. Yes. Oh, I love this so much. Oh, this is so cool. Okay. Having done all of that, this, and I've been a little tired after this, because my brain has been going at it like freaking crazy. We're going to continue this tomorrow, you know? This whole idea, this idea of a book, I will continue it tomorrow morning. We're gonna continue it, because I want to finish this. This is a big project that I actually love it. I love it. I adore it. It's so cool. It's such a cool tool. I love it. I love it. Love it. It started with a game idea, with an automatic system, and then I realized I'm a writer. What am I doing? And at the same time, I'm like, I could turn this into a game, but I will need a programmer, like someone who can do this, who can design this, translate it into language. Another thing that you need to do, ladies and gentlemen, and know when you are creating something. Know your own limits and know when a project is going to be too big for you. So if you're a writer, my case, and I started to write all of this down, I realized that my first idea was getting too complex. Like, too complex for my own good. And in the end, I'm like, I might as well do just text. Do something that I can have on physical, let's say. For example, grab a D20 and throw it in order to have like the whole thing like run its own way, let's say. And then it's like, yeah, going at it. I love it. I adore it. This is cool. This is cool. Yes. Oh my god. So cool. So freaking cool. I adore it. I'm emotion. Okay. Now I will actually go and rest a little because I'm tired. Jesus. I love it, Picasso. Totally love it, Picasso. This is like so cool. This whole idea that I just did, I love it. It's not to brag. I don't mean to brag, but I did a pretty good starting thing here. Really cool. Yes. Really cool. You can create a really solid like world building thing with this. Especially with the rest of the points, because the rest of the points would take care of like important figures and families in the setting. So yes, I like it. Oh, but I need to rest. Oh, my brain is over. You know when you are going out of the hyper focus because it's like your brain has already used all the energy? I'm feeling that rock now. It's like, oh my god, I'm tired. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm going to die. So much so that I just want to go to sleep. Oh my god. And I think I will actually do that. I think I will actually stop the stream for now, and I will try to stream Infinity Nikki and another game in the evening/afternoon, rather than right after this one. Because after this one, I want to keep this taste. I'm like, still like processing the whole idea in my brain. And the brain is like coming with new ideas all the time. With this one, it's like hyper focused. So, I think I'm actually going to do it in like around, I don't know, 8 hours, 6 hours, 7 maybe. Because right now I'm like getting out of this hyper focus, doing this, and talking about all of this. My brain override with my story. So after like doing this, I need to rest because totally my brain is like, it's not going to be able to jump from this to, let's say, like a video game kind of personality to make like the video game more like we all love it, crazy bananas. Because I went into, let's say, academia mode, let's say, like the erudite mode, the great eminence mode. So I'm like burnout. Yeah, I need a mini vacation. Indeed, that's exactly what I need. I need it to give my brain a little vacation. I need to distract it with some reading or some video watching and stuff. So we're gonna do that. Because this was crazy bananas. I'm completely crazy. I'm going crazy bananas with this idea. And I know this idea is going to only grow because there is so much I know that I can put into this paper. Like of how a culture works, how a city works, how I think it works. Or at least how I have learned that it works, according to all of the things I have read. So yeah, oh my freaking god. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much everyone for watching. Thank you, Elspeth. Thank you, Disculpa. Thank you, Nia. Thank you, Danny, for being here. Thank you, Bones, for being here. Thank you, Savage, for being here. Thank you. My god. Where was it? What? Oh, there we go. Oh my god. Oh, my brain. My brain is going. Oh, my brain is Glembus. There we go. Glembus, yes. Thank you, Glembus. Thank you, everyone. And please have a wonderful rest of the evening. I will now go into my mini vacation up to my brain. And I will see you all in, you know, yeah, brain says, yeah, my brain is literally saying, help. Help. My brain is completely melting down. So yeah, I will go now. Thank you for watching. And I will see you all later today with some proper gaming content, let's say. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye. 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 Bye.